What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Dean, aka the Blue Crusader, and what you're seeing right now is we're actually on Star Wars Battlefront 2. This is the 2005 version, the good version, and basically today I wanted to do another episode of my graphics series. This series basically where I go back and kind of look back at old games of the golden era, some of our favourite games from yesteryear I guess you could say, and basically just improve it by installing graphics mods, EMBs, and just different textures to kind of bring it as close to modern day as I basically can. And this is what I'm trying to do right now with Battlefront 2. We've done it with San Andreas, we've done it with GTA Vice City, and we've done it with multiple other games. You can check out the playlist on the channel, and today we're doing it none other than to Battlefront 2 itself. Now you can already see a bit of a change. At the start of the video I probably will have shown the old Mos Eisley without any graphics improvements, so you've probably already seen a comparison of this at the start, but basically this is Mos Eisley on Hero Assault mode on Battlefront 2 with only some graphics filters installed. So this is HD graphics filters, and this is what it looks like. It already looks completely a lot more nicer than the original game. Even the character models just look nicer, these new graphics, and the only thing basically we have left to do is to install a brand new map. Now you can see, although we have a few graphics improvements, this is still the normal vanilla map for Mos Eisley. There's no changes to it, none of the maps being changed itself. But what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to install a HD map change of Mos Eisley, and I'm going to show you just exactly what it looks like, not only with these graphics mods we're using right now, but also with a brand new Mos Eisley map, and the game's going to look completely different. Now the characters already look visually better, mainly because there's different textures and lighting improvements, and it's made the game HD, as well as the game obviously running in 1080p now, which usually you can't do on Windows 10 unless you tinker around with a few things, although it does cause a lot of bugs. Basically this is what the game looks like with graphics improvements. So now we're going to jump into the game with the map change, and I'm going to show you the improved Mos Eisley layered on top of these visual changes as well, and see just what it looks like. Okay, so now we're back into Mos Eisley. So you saw what Mos Eisley looked like with the graphical improvements. Now you can see what Mos Eisley looks like with a new Mos Eisley map. Now it virtually looks exactly the same, although this map looks a lot more realistic. Now the reason this is looking more realistic is not only do we have the character and game texture swaps as well as the lighting improvements which I showed you last time, with this map we also have some improvements to the actual map's textures themselves, which is probably why the map looks visually a lot more beautiful than before. You can see everything looks a lot more smoothed out, everything looks a lot more, I guess, in a bloom-like fashion. Everything looks like bloom's activated right now, which it probably is. And you can disable a few of those textures in game, and you can disable a few options, but this is basically as good as it gets, guys. Now I use Mos Eisley as an example basically because it's personally my favourite map on the whole of Battlefront 2, and also you get the most widest variety of heroes to play from, and you get to choose all the best heroes rather than just playing as clones. Now this would actually look really nice if we use the Coruscant map as well, which I'll probably make a different video on. Basically the Coruscant is the Jedi Temple map, which you play I think in the Order 66 mission, in the Galactic Conquest, and some various other points in the game. Now I haven't got any other mods installed. This would run really nicely if we had the improved sides mod on, so I think what I'll do is I'll do a clip at the end of this video which actually shows a lot of the unit replacements, because right now as you can see all of the characters are affected by the game's changes, but the characters themselves don't look much better. So I would like to try and get a few character replacements or use the improved side mod on a different map to show you what that looks like also before the end of the video. As you can see, all of the characters look the same. They're still extremely low textured despite obviously the lighting improvements the graphics mods brought. The Emperor looks a lot better because there's better lighting onto his face, so you can kind of make out what he is easier. Anakin looks better. Count Dooku still has this really bad flat mass texture, but Darth Maul looks the same. Jango Fett looks nicer with everything shining off his armor, and I think Jango, Boba Fett and the Emperor are probably look the best with this change. Now the map looks a lot better than the original. I am going to keep the map mod, but now I'm going to jump into just showing you what the replacement clone troopers look like with the graphics mod. And I'm probably going to use a different map replacement as well to show you on a different map. So for an example, like I said before, I'll probably show you what it looks like on Coruscant. Now as you can see, there are actual different lighting effects which take into place with the lightsabers. Now you can see the lightsabers are a lot brighter than normal, so they do give off a lot more light and vibrance. This is obviously an effect of the graphics mod. Usually they're more dull, but you can see now that they're extremely bright, which is kind of irritating because it would be nice if they were more red in hue, but I guess all of the lighting makes it just glow completely bright. But I guess that's what a lightsaber would look like. It's giving off beams of light and it still retains some of its colour. But you can see some lightsabers, for example, I'll try not to die to show you. The Yoda lightsaber, for an example, you can't really tell that it's green, mainly because of how much light's coming off. The purple one probably works the best with the graphic improvements, but the green and blue sabers are extremely light and it's kind of hard to tell what colour they are if you didn't know what colour lightsaber the characters had in the actual movies. We're now back on the Mos Eisley Hero Assault mode that we were on earlier. Now, earlier in the video I showed you literally every single unit on the Sith, or the villain side I guess, and I showed you what all the models look like. This time, we're back and I'm going to be showing you all the units again and playing on the map, so you know that with the sides mod, everything looks even better. Because earlier with just the graphic improvements like the lighting, we didn't have any new characters, especially when I showed you Ki-Adi-Mundi and the Count Dooku model. They still look really terrible, but as you can see now, we have a brand new Han Solo model. I'm not sure where they've got the model from, probably a different game, maybe like the Wii game. And Boba Fett looks extremely more detailed, its colours look a lot more vibrant, and he has nicer reds on his armour and everything's more high quality. Now I'm going to look at heroes first. Han Solo's a complete 180 flip. We have Chewbacca, who has a lot more complex hairs, and his actual hairs on his body are waving as well, and he has higher quality textures in his face. Obi-Wan mirrors the episode 3 version, and as you can see on the loading menu, on the class selection, all the lightsabers are a bit brighter, but as you know before, when we jump in game they're not. But this is a nice episode 3 model. Luke looks exactly the same, but they've just improved him, so I feel like that is a completely custom model. Yoda looks insane. Yoda looks completely different to how he was originally. Everything's just more vibrant. We have Mace Windu, whose face doesn't look like an 8-pixel bitmap right now. We have Princess Leia, who very much mirrors episode 4. Ayla Secura, and Ki-Adi-Mundi has just completely changed. This looks so nice. So now we're going to jump on to the villain side of things, and Count Dooku, which was perhaps the worst character in the whole game for visual appeal, has been completely changed. His model's a little bit slimmer, how he is in the movies. He is obviously still tall, and his face actually has a texture to it. There's actually facial features on it this time, instead of just a blur. So that looks nice. Anakin has more, I guess, luscious hair, if that's how you want to describe it, and his robes look a lot more realistic to episode 3, because remember this game is a 2005 episode 3 title. The Emperor was kind of nice before with just the graphics, because we actually saw more of his face, but this is the more high definition model, and I believe this was ripped from Star Wars The Force Awakens, or it was taken off the Gmod Workshop, because there is actually an Emperor model that is the same model off the Garry's Mod Workshop. Grievous is slightly more slimlined, and his armor is a little more realistic in terms of metal. Darth Maul is just more lighter red, and I guess there's more polys to his model. We have Jango Fett, which I personally think looks worse. Well, actually, I don't think it looks worse. I feel like it's the same, they've just changed the colours, because the model kind of just looks the same to me. Darth Vader looked a lot similar to how he was, but I guess the colours look better. And Boba Fett looks better also. So I'm going to be playing as Count Dooku for a while, just to show you everything. And obviously when you're in the normal world and you run into the characters, everything just looks a lot nicer, because all of the characters on the whole map are improved, not just the unit that you're playing. So as you can see, we have the episode 3 revamped Obi-Wan here, and we have the revamped Count Dooku. And as you can see, everything's just a lot more realistic, because although Battlefront 2 is a really awesome title and it's really fun to play, it kind of loses a lot of its feeling when you're playing in the modern age, because everything looks so, I wouldn't say just old, but everything just looks so simple and blocky in terms of a lot of the characters, because the AI on the game is not great as it is, so everything's kind of lifeless. When you've got more quality and you're breathing more life into the game through mods like this, it just makes the game a lot more fun. Now a mod that I'd actually like to see, Oh my god, the Emperor, the Emperor gliding with this new model looks so badass. A mod which I'd actually genuinely like to see though is a mod where you can go in first person without any weapons. A mod where you can use Force Choke as the Emperor and Force Lightning with your hands in first person would probably be one of the most awesome mods for this game. So I'm just going to show you a little bit running around as the Emperor, and then I'm going to show you maybe a bit as Django or Boba Fett, just to show you what the flying characters look like in the sky. And already, as you can see, Luke looks crazy good. Hey, we can get Mace Windu in a still position to show you his model by Force Choking him. Wait, where did he go? What the heck? Oh. Okay, I guess he was planning an ambush. So now I'm going to show you Boba Fett, who has probably been changed the most out of him and his father. As you can see, the weapon is kind of messed up though. You can see it shows his weapon. So if we switch his weapon, instead of this rifle on the left of his character being below on the bottom left of the screen, it just hovers next to him, which is kind of distracting seeing as this is his main weapon. And then if we go in first person, like I said before, most of the first person view models are exactly the same, but they still also have better textures. It would be nice if we had a mod to make first person more immersive, I guess. That would be really nice. Like I said before, using first person force powers and first person weapons would also be really nice. Now the only other thing which I haven't showed you is the fact that the improved, I'm not sure if it's the improved sides mod. Is it the improved sides mod? I'm pretty sure it's the improved sides mod that does this, but basically what it does is it actually makes the cockpits in all the vehicles first person ready. So if you go in first person mode, you can actually use ships in first person and see out the cockpits, and they look really realistic. So that's really nice as well, a little tiny addition, which you won't really notice unless you're playing mods to go back to the Clone Wars era to play some of the Battlefront 1 maps, or if you're in a space battle, which I don't really tend to play. So if you're doing any of those, that part will be useful. But all I really play is Clone Wars era maps and Hero Assault, so for me, that's not really too much of a big deal. But like I said before, coupling all these mods together with the more realistic maps and the graphical mod improvements makes the game look really awesome. So this is the end of what Star Wars Battlefront 2 looks like with HD mods and EMB installed. This is the 2005 version, the best variant, not the EA one. And I just wanted to try and bring this game up to speed in terms of graphics and try and make it the best it can be in the modern era, and I feel like I've kind of done it with these mods. So if you want to see more games kind of updated to the modern age, all the timeless classics which we always enjoy, then definitely drop a suggestion below which game I should improve graphically by installing mods to it, and release a video on that. Now so far we've done Vice City, San Andreas, and now Battlefront 2, so if there's any other old games which you think needs an update, some of the best games of all time which kind of lack nowadays in graphics, then I will grade them and do a video on them if you guys want. So drop a comment below on your suggestions for that. Drop a like on the video if you enjoyed this, because Battlefront 2 is a lot of other people's favourite game, and just bringing it to, I guess, a modern feel and kind of bringing nostalgia back on it is going to make a lot more people happy, just like it did myself. So share this video if you know anyone who likes Battlefront 2 and they may be interested in seeing it look awesome like in this video. And if you've not already subscribed, if you discovered this video through the YouTube search or a recommendation, then definitely make sure to subscribe as well, because I do gaming videos every single day on this channel. So thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next time.